everybody, welcome back to the channel. So we've all seen that like a couple days ago that Infinite had released. And yes, I also have played the game a little bit and I am loving it. I'm just gonna get this out of the way. I am loving playing Infinite right now. So what I wanted to make this video for is a couple ideas that I'm hoping will actually make it into Infinite's development cycle. Like since this is like a 10-year game that people have been throwing around, this is like a 10-year game, and I'm pretty sure it's been confirmed that it's gonna be for 10 years. So I just wanted to throw in a couple ideas that I think would really improve how the campaign goes. Because I've mainly just been playing the campaign ever since it came out. Literally just like I think 3 days ago by the time of me making this video. So I got an idea. I got a couple ideas. One thing, and I'm gonna make sure this is as spoiler free as possible. I'm not even gonna be talking about the main storyline in the campaign. This is mainly just stuff that you'll be dealing with throughout the world. So what I'm talking about is you already know how we'll be dealing with forward operating bases or FOBs. You're basically just using those FOBs as a way to get a new vehicle, rally some Marines, or maybe even just upgrade or just get a new weapon or just get some ammunition for your weapons. After that, it's kind of pointless. You would barely ever go to an FOB unless you want to get a vehicle or some Marines or a weapon. That is just what I'm saying. I would think maybe instead of having just the thing that where you have to choose and just cycle through all the weapons you've unlocked, I would say maybe like a quality of life thing. Just add like a little ammo area, like in throughout Infinite there are stations where you can be able to refill your ammunition of certain weapons, like the plasma weapons, UNSC weapons. I'm just gonna call them those. I'm just gonna call them that. Shock weapons and even rare times like power weapons, and also the sentinel weapons. So I'm thinking maybe like add some kind of a ammo station for that too in the FOBs. Like mainly for kinetic, that's what they usually call them. Like kinetic weapons and plasma weapons. Not sentinel or power weapons because you won't be seeing those with UNSC Marines unless you give them to them. Sorry, yeah, my allergies are acting up. But I was just thinking that would be like a quality of life thing. If you want to keep using those weapons that you have on you, you won't have to just go to the FOB and just search through all the lists that you have in your weapons. My next idea is another thing that could really give FOBs another reason to get them. So instead of just having the FOBs just be standing there and nothing happening to them, I was thinking maybe once in a while have a banished attack, like have a banished defense as a new side quest or side mission to be able to deal with throughout the game. So just so you're not just blowing through the entire game, you could easily go and like fast travel back to your FOB that has attacked, defend it, and also get some good stuff for it. Maybe get like a little bit of valor or something. It would be another way of getting valor. Like it's a small thing, but it would be pretty good. It'd be pretty cool to be able to do that. And also to go with it, I'm sorry about that, but another thing that would go really well with it is if you have a ton of FOBs, you start being able to have different Marines go and patrol through the ring and just go back and forth through those FOBs. Like, I'm going to use Fallout for an example. There's a system for the settlements where you could be able to send, what is it? I'm just going to call them couriers. Like, you could be able to send couriers back and forth from settlements to be able to connect them and get resources. This will be a little bit different for Infinite, since you don't have to carry resources or gather resources for a settlement. You could be able to have a system where you could be able to have the Marines go, you can be able to assign the Marines a patrol route that will go between FOBs. And let's say, like, they'll just go and just start walking down that way. And there's a one time that there's a big chance that you'd be able to run into those patrols while you're going through the ring. Plus, plus if they ever do this, they could even use that idea to be able to maybe try making some kind of a way for Marines to use vehicles. Like, instead of just getting into the passengers or the gunners, they could be able to drive vehicles. Like, imagine going through the ring and you run into a Marine patrol, one and one of them has a warthog, like they're driving a warthog or a gungoose, or maybe even a scorpion. And you're probably wondering, but how would they do the areas that have FOBs separated by separated land? So I was thinking maybe have pelicans flying around those areas and also wasps. Maybe like just have some wasps, some pelicans just flying around between that space to be able to clear out the enemy air. Just so it'll just be a little bit more lively instead. Plus, now I got those ideas out of the way. These are just like things that people have been saying all over the place since Infinite has been released. I really think in campaign they could really do with adding some new weapons, like adding more weapons. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen down the line, but it would really do well for the campaign, especially the campaign. I know people are saying that they want it in multiplayer as well, but this is stuff that I'm thinking that would be really good for campaign stuff. But the campaign could really do good for getting a little bit more variety of weapons to use. I mean, I get there's a bunch of weapon variants that you can be able to pick up, but I feel like maybe throwing in the spiker, plasma rifle, fuel rod, maybe even a Spartan laser. Okay, not Spartan laser. I don't think the Spartan laser is a good idea. Now that I think about it, but just a bunch of new weapons and just a bunch of more variety of weaponries. That way, it's not just the same thing over and over again. Because I like the weapons and all, but it's just so few. There's just so few weapons to use that it's not a variety. I mean, Halo 3, I'm just going to use Halo 3 and 4 as an example. There was a ton of weapons in those games. I loved Halo 3 because it was really cool to be able to make the different weapons. And 4, I mainly liked 4 because of its campaign, but I really liked it because of the amount of weapons that you had. Like, if they added more variety, like maybe adding in the spike rifle or giving the spiker to different brutes, like giving them to miners alongside the mangler, that would be pretty cool. And then there's the next thing. More vehicle variation. That's another thing that I've heard quite a bit. I mean, let me just tell you what the main things that you'll be dealing with in Infinite. Here are like 3 vehicles you'll be running into the most in Infinite. The Ghost, the Chopper, and the Banshee. You'll barely run into the Wraith, and I'm not counting the Phantom because those are like a vehicle that just drops off reinforcements. You can't grapple to take over the Phantom, so I'm not counting that. There's only like 4 vehicles in there that you'll be running into, and one of them you barely ever run into. So I'm thinking maybe like improve how many vehicles are in the game. Like improve the amount of Covenant vehicles that you'll run into throughout the game. Like they already have a ton of UNSC vehicles like the Mongoose, Gungoose, Warthog, Razorback, Scorpion, and Wasp. Maybe add a couple more UNSC and Covenant weapons or vehicles, I mean. Just so, like I said with the weapons, there's a variety of things that you'll be dealing with. And not just go over here, carry a rocket launcher, and just shoot it down. I, like I said, I like campaign. I like I'm loving the campaign. Actually, I already beaten the campaign. I'm gonna be going through another. I'm going through another playthrough with the campaign again at some point. I love that campaign, but I think that there's a couple things that I could do with to be able to improve it, make it a little bit more interesting than just just aimlessly wandering the ring and not have anything happen except for the occasional banish attack. That's mainly what I think would be really good for it. That's why I mainly think that would be really good for Infinite's campaign. And like I said, this is a very long. This game is gonna have a very long lifespan, so maybe some of the stuff will come into the game. That's what I'm hoping, at least. But let me know what you all have to say about this. I want to know what you think would be really cool for Infinite's campaign. It would be pretty cool to hear what you all think. We could be able to talk about this. Maybe you agree with me, maybe you disagree with me. Just remember, I'm not gonna hand ideas. Honestly, I honestly want to hear as many ideas as possible. I want to hear them all because this would be really cool just to have things more and stuff for campaign to be implemented. I've said campaign so many times it sounds weird now. But I'm gonna close out this video before it gets too long. Thank you all for watching. I will see you in the next video and catch you later.